We are live.
Yeah.
Do we get that?
Yeah, nice COVID cough.
Well,
it's oh no, I thought it was a 420 cough.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a 420 cough, all right.
My bad.
This is Friday at 420. I'm your host, Mike Neighbors, and for the next 40 minutes, we are going to make you laugh. Gut-busting laughter will come your way, we promise. This is on Facebook Live right now on this Thursday morning. If you're listening to us on Friday at 420 on the radio, it's Friday afternoon, and you're getting ready for the weekend. And, hang in there. Have some fun with us before your weekend begins. Let's get started right away by introducing our illustrious panel. I'm adding illustrious now. I think that makes you guys sound more important than you really, frankly, are. Please say hello to our good friend, Patrick Capolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. Lots to catch up with you and Manoli, because you guys have been up to some crazy hijinks.
Yes.
But I do want to bring Manoli in on the conversation before we do that. So please say hello to our good friend, Manolis Zontanos.
Connie's, Mike, how you doing, dude?
Take an E, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, as good as can be. I'm alive. So, I mean, if you're alive, that's a big part of everything, right? So
sure.
Everything else is kind of just gravy at this point. I love gravy.
So before we catch up on some crazy hijinks that you and Patrick have been up to, I do want to introduce our special guest, a great stand-up comedian. He's coming to us from Toronto, the winner of the the Brantford Comedy Festival Amateur Night Extravaganza?
No, it was they had a whole contest, a 10-week contest, and I won $10,000. Yeah.
Yes, Casey Corbin, everybody. Say hello to Casey Corbin.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Casey?
I'm doing great. Everything's awesome. Yeah, things are good.
Are you back to doing stand-up? Have you had a chance to get back yet? I know it's just started coming back around.
No, I was I've been doing it now for a month now. Like Cheapers, it was maybe late July. Yeah, late July I started back. I was the first one to headline the Ottawa Absolute Comedy Club, and then I did Kingston shortly thereafter, and then gigs just start slowly coming in. So things are opening up and things are good. They're getting there. Yeah.
Has it changed? I mean, do you like what's the difference? And I'm going to ask all three of you this question because I know, Patrick, you and Manolis have gotten back to it. Levity's back open. We'll talk about that. Does it feel different than it did before, or does it feel just normal again?
Oh, no. I think the answer is like both. Like, it's 100% completely different because now we have all these COVID-19 rules in effect where the crowd is 1/5 of what it used to be. You have to sanitize the mics. You don't shake anybody's hand on stage anymore. You just go on stage and do your thing. And in some places you're 10 feet back from the audience. In some places you're standing behind plexiglass and looking at 50 people. But that's Ottawa. That's like any Senators game. No matter what the differences are, it's still live people laughing, and that's there, and that is, it's not essential to stand up because I've seen lots of guys go up there and do it without laughs and go back up and do it again, but it's essential to my stand up, so it feels right.
It's the elixir, man. It's the elixir. It's what gets you guys up and going and every day and gets you out there on stage. Patrick, Levity is open again and a great opening weekend. And then another weekend has since transpired. And again, the people came out. Talk to me a little bit about Levity being open and what you're seeing.
It's exciting. We're open again. And it's kind of like Casey said, the weirdest part is just all the new setup and the new rules and stuff, like people coming in with masks and the tables are spaced out. But honestly, like once the shows got started, that part doesn't feel different at all to me anyways. Even 50 people in there having a good time, could sound like 180 people having a good time. So, but
And the really cool part is Casey is headlining at Levity this weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Fantastic.
we're excited to have all these guys back, and also it's been cool just the support from the community. Like, people are really excited. We thought that was going to happen too. We were just starved for entertainment, right? So, as soon as we opened, people started coming in. So,
Manolis, we got to bring you in on this conversation before you nod off. Buddy, talk to me a little bit about performing at Levity. I know it was Hamilton All-Stars weekend, the opening weekend, and you were headlining on the Saturday night. How'd that go?
It was amazing. It was an amazing weekend. What's amazing about Levity too is that room, even if there's because I think we're only allowed 50 people for a show right now.
Yeah.
But it still sounds amazing. Like, it's a perfect room for sound, and it's been an amazing time. And my favorite thing is I'm going to be hanging out there this weekend because I've known Casey. I'm guessing 20 years. Casey?
Yeah, 20 years easily. Yeah.
And we have this bromance for years, and we, Mike, I don't know if you know this, I think probably the best thing about Casey is that he loves Van Halen, maybe more than I do, actually.
No.
Yeah, maybe more than I do. And actually, I think Casey, actually, if I'm not mistaken, you met Eddie Van Halen.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So I love just being around Casey for that fact.
But wait, I never went. I just met him and brought him his pregame meal. I didn't go roller coaster riding with the bassist from Cinderella or anything awesome like that.
It was the guitarist Jeff LaBar. I hung out with Jeff LaBar for the day at Kenner's Wonderland. We recognized him, and next thing you know, we're just having a chat, and I guess we got along, so he let us hang out with him for the day. So that was pretty rad. No, Eddie Van Halen's 10 times better. Are you crazy?
But wait a minute. But Jeff LaBar got you backstage at David Lee Roth.
Yes, he did. And I was 20 feet away from David Lee Roth, but I tried to walk up to him, and the security yelled at me. Went, hey! And I'm like, oh, sorry. And he looked at me. David Lee Roth he saw me standing there like this. I'm backstage now at the David Lee Roth concert, and David Lee Roth, I'm like this, my jaws open, and he looks right at me and realizes I'm I'm looking at God, and he smirks and walks away. And I'm like, you could have walked towards me and said, thanks, bro. Thank you.
So just so we're perfectly clear, security has to keep everyone 20 feet away from David Lee Roth, or they might catch something.
Oh, even back then.
Yeah, that was social distancing before we ever had to do it. So, Casey, that sounds awesome. Patrick, I hope you're ready to install some plexiglass. Casey will only perform behind plexiglass, and he will be at Levity Comedy Club this weekend. Live shows Friday and Saturday. It's going to be great. All right, let's get to our game, kids. Friday at 4:20 is the name of it. I've got 12 random topics in these 12 official envelopes. We've got a Plinko board. You can barely see it, but there it is. And there goes the Plinko puck. And Casey, your first topic on this edition of Friday at 4:20 is... Oh, my God. What a question to start with. This is fantastic. So just this week, Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, came out with guidelines for having sex during COVID.
Yes.
So if you're not in a bubble, right, if you're not partnered up already, and you're going to get some on the side, she said you should wear a mask, you should not kiss, and you shouldn't even come face-to-face. Face-to-face contact is not safe, which sounds like some crazy sex going on there. My question for you, Casey, is she said the safest sex to have during COVID is alone. Have you had sex during COVID, Casey?
Both, alone and not alone.
Are you a married man?
No, not at all.
Not at all. No. So what? So have you tried to sort of get with some people outside of your bubble? What is that like?
Well, Tinder's still out there, and that's a big bubble. And
it's not a bubble, dude.
What, a bumble or a bubble?
Well, Bumble is a Bumble, yes.
I can bang people inside my Bumble, right?
Yes,
That's okay. Everything's so confusing to me.
as long as they're in your bubble.
Yeah. I wore a mask where mask needed. You know, I wore a dick mask. Can I say dick mask?
Yeah, now.
I wore a dick mask.
Good for you.
That's look at AIDS, social distancing, and dick masks. That's how they did it. And they said they don't even have a vaccine yet. But I know people that don't even wear dick masks. So we'll get over it someday. It'll be okay. Wear your mask.
Yes, wear your dick mask.
And your face mask. Wear those too.
Yes.
Don't be a dick.
That's awesome.
Don't be a dick.
Or you can go with the Manolis. Manolis-bation, as we call it. Manolis, the safest sex. Manolis, the safest sex is alone. Have you had sex during COVID?
I've been preparing for COVID for the last 40 years.
So.
Show
us the paper, Manolis.
Hang on a second.
No, don't show us anything. Oh, there's you see.
There's my COVID mask right there.
Right beside, for those of us listening on the radio, Manolis just held up a roll of toilet paper that he keeps handy by his computer screen. I don't even want to go into any further.
It's not for my bum.
Oh wow, dude!
Is that not a normal thing?
Oh,
I thought that was a normal thing.
Yes.
This is what 40-year-olds do. No, is that not normal? That's
Yes,
for allergies. For my allergies.
Thank you.
That's hilarious.
See now, Mike? Do you see now?
That was brilliant. Oh my god, I did not see that coming.
Oh, perfect. I know what to buy you for Christmas now.
Correct.
I think you should. I think you should wear the COVID mask over your. You should wear a condom and a COVID mask over your junk.
There you go. Double
That's
up for extra safety.
Yeah.
Patrick, you are partnered up. I'm not that concerned about you, but if you can produce a roll of toilet paper right now while you're sitting there beside your computer, I'm going to give you $5.
The only thing about I have a picture of my kid.
Wow! No! Oh no!
Not cool, dude.
Oh.
I don't do that at my computer.
Oh, good for you, man. Good for you. Keeping it clean. Patrick Coppolino, that's his 2020 slogan. Keeping it clean. I'm going to Plinko again. We've destroyed the show right out of the gate. So really anything that happens now is going to be suspect. Topic number 2 for you, Patrick Coppolino, on this Friday at 4:20 on Funny 820. What is the hottest thing you have ever eaten? Think back now, the hottest thing, like something that you taste. At some point, we all find our sort of hot zone or our line in the sand. You can only find that if you went across it. Can you remember going across the hot zone?
Yeah, actually, last year at Levity, we did the Dawson's Hot Sauce, the Hot 5 challenge, where comedians ate 5 hot wings and then did 5 minutes of comedy, or tried to anyways. Right. And I tried that. It was a XXX ghost pepper sauce, and it was easily the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Did you consume very much of it, or did you
No.
already shut?
Well, I was hosting the show, so I tried not to. I thought I was going to get away with it, but the audience didn't like that. So they were, at the very end, they were basically making me do it. So I ate like one wing and I couldn't breathe. My mouth was on fire. I was sweating. I thought I was going to pass out. I don't know how, like even Manolis, he ate all 5 of his and did his set.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Was that the hottest thing you ever have eaten, Manolis?
Yes, it was. And I had a glass of milk, I think, on stage to tone it down. But it was like, dude, it was intense. And like, I thought, like, you know, it's like you're doing so that everybody's laughing because you're like spending like a minute on 4 words.
Yeah.
You know, that's the joke. You can't even get to the punchline.
Yeah, nobody did their set.
Like, and like, it's such a weird feeling when you can feel sweat like coming out of your eyeballs. You know, like I've never I didn't even know that was a thing. And yeah, I did. I think I pooed myself a little bit. But I didn't. I kept that to myself on stage.
Spending 5 minutes on 4 words must have reminded you of grade school, Manolis.
Yeah, that's pretty well. It was like I was in grade 1 again. Oh, buddy, grade 1 to grade 4, then special ed, but like grade 1 to grade 4, every teacher they gave after like a month, they're like, no, we're
They skip you when it comes around for reading.
everything. There's like the middle state. I used to there was a part in grade 1 where you could build stuff with like a hammer and nails, which made no sense to me. There was like wood and hammer and nails, and I built things. And the teacher would just leave me there all day. I was like a factory worker. Like I didn't even go to my desk anymore. But she was so happy that I didn't bother anybody. I was just nailing stuff into wood. I was building cars. I built little toy cars for children. The whole year, kids would come up. I was taking orders all day. I'm like, I love grade 1. This is amazing. And then
it was the start of Manola spending his days just nailing stuff.
Yeah.
Casey Corbin, our very special guest here on this Friday at 4:20. I don't know, you didn't take part in our Hot Wings Challenge at Levity Comedy Club, did you?
No, I didn't. But
So what is the hottest thing you can remember ever eating? Sort of something that was across your line that you went, okay, I got to back off that a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's like almost everything. I'm like, I had these suicide wings one time. I can't even remember where, but I just remember it felt like needles were going through the top of my lip, and it was that hot. And it was just very uncomfortable. And I don't really do super hot things. Like I've got 3 bottles of Michael Anthony's hot sauce on my counter. I'm never going to open up any of them because it's too hot. I have the regular barbecue sauce, and that's too hot.
And for those who don't know, Michael Anthony, that's a reference to Van Halen.
Yes. Wait,
yes.
Does Michael Anthony have? Is that real?
Yeah, I have hot sauces from Michael Anthony, 100%.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know he had that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a real Van Halen. That's a real Van Halen fan. No,
I told you he loves Van Halen more than I do. He does appreciate my Scream tape though that I made when I spliced all that Van Halen or David Lee Roth screams together. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Of course. That was amazing.
Who doesn't appreciate that classic? Listen, boys, just before we continue on this Friday at 4:20, Casey Corbin, our very special guest. Manolis, a quick update on Donnie Coy. I know Donnie Coy was in the hospital. He had fallen, hurt himself pretty bad. It was really cool that you got that you not only put out the call for people to come visit, for comedians to call him and keep his spirits up, but that you got Russell Peters on FaceTime for him, and I saw that on social media. That just goes to the goodness of who you are, Manolis. But
thank you.
Give us an update on Donnie and how Donnie's doing.
He's out of the hospital, so he's doing better. He's I don't know, it was really nice that Russell did that. So I asked him, he did it like without even thinking. He's like, sure. And then the next thing you know, we're on FaceTime. And he's definitely made him feel better. But he's he's walking better. There's nurses helping him now. He's got a new chair, and he's just got a bum knee now. Like he's just older. I mean, 40 years of like Black Russians ain't gonna really help anybody.
Well, so, you know what? I mean, Donnie lived a life, right? He lived hard, he lived fast, and we all know there's a price to pay for that at the other end. And you know what? He's paying that price, but that is a life well lived.
Oh, and he partied.
So. Thank God he's out of the hospital. Thank God he's doing okay, and thank you, Manolis, that you keep him on track because you're a godsend for that boy.
I want to say one thing. He goes. So you're gonna quit drinking now? I said. He goes. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not gonna drink Black Russians anymore. I'm just gonna drink wine. So.
Perfect.
Yeah,
problem solved.
Solved. Yeah, wine.
You're listening to Friday at 4:20. Our very special guest, Casey Corbin, who will be headlining this weekend at Levity Comedy Club. Please check it out. Friday, Saturday night. Our boy Patrick and Manolis will be hanging out in the lobby and accepting donations to keep them alive and in food. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Number 9. Manolis, your topic on this Friday at 4:20. Number 9 is... What is the best comedy special you have ever seen? I'm looking for comedy specials on Netflix or streaming services. What is the best one? The one that you go, if I had to watch one, boom, that's the one.
If I have to watch one now that's like present, I would say Rory Scovel's last one on Netflix. I don't know, what was it called? Casey, do you know? It was
Roy Scovel does comedy for the first time. Is that one? The one with Jack Black? Jack
Oh,
White.
no, not the one. He did one for didn't he? He did one for Netflix.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
Comedy for the first time.
Yeah, that one. I didn't know the name, so it's like Casey's like my computer, but I like that one or Eddie Murphy's Delirious. Those two.
Yeah, I knew you were a big fan of Delirious. That was certainly a classic for its time and really an unusual, right? Because now, I mean, everybody and their mother gets a comedy special on Netflix, but some of them are better than others. Delirious was an event.
Oh God, yeah. It was just like, well, I didn't even know what stand-up comedy was. We rented it because someone told us, and we just me and my friends watched it 1,000 times over and over again. I honestly didn't understand what I was watching. Like, I didn't understand why this man just talks and he says all this crazy stuff. It blew my mind, you know?
Oh, funny. So the Rory Scovel special, please check that out. That's an awesome one. Casey Corbin, your favorite comedy special, like first thing that pops to mind, best comedy special you've ever seen?
Oh, well, it's got to be Delirious is obviously the go-to. It's the one that made me want to do comedy.
Yep.
But I'm a real big fan of Sarah Silverman's Jesus is Magic. I love that special, and it's like on stage, and then there are like little songs throughout it, and then it goes back to the stage, and it's just fantastic. So that's up there, and any Jim Jeffries special is just fantastic. So the last Jim Jeffries one, because I saw him do it in Toronto a week before he taped it in Boston. So
that's awesome.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Okay. I think I saw it when he played Hamilton right before that as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
I saw him in Hamilton. I don't know. That would have been around the same time, probably. Yeah, I love Jim Jeffries, man. Very funny stuff. So thank you for those choices. But the reason for this topic, by the way, is we get a lot, surprisingly, we get a lot of email from people who love Friday at 420. And I always question, whether they should have been allowed out of the mental hospital. But they're quite often they're talking about the show and how much they love Friday at 420, but they also quite often are asking, can you, like, other comedy things I should be watching? What am I missing? Am I missing out on anything? So that's why I wanted to go around the horn and find out what these comedians think are the best comedy specials. Patrick Coppolino, you get to go next.
I think one that stands out to me, it's not necessarily like the best or the funniest, but it's the one I've probably seen the most because my parents showed me when I was younger, but it's a Robin Williams one. I think it's just called Robin Williams Live on Broadway. I don't know if you've seen it. That was like
live at the Met or live on Broadway. Is he all in black?
I don't think so. He's wearing like a button up, and he's got like
From
8.
the 80s.
There's like 18 water bottles on a stool, and he drinks all of them by the end of the show, and he's drenched, and but he's super entertaining in that. That one always sticks out in my head.
One of the greatest comedy bits, and I've seen it passed around social media over and over, is him doing the Scottish accent
with the
explaining
golf. Yeah, that's from that special.
It's just such a funny piece of comedy.
Yeah.
Excellent choice. What? Go ahead.
Who's that chick? Nikki Glaze. She does the roast. Yeah. She's. I think she's awesome. I love her. Yeah,
let's Plinko. Let's get this thing back onto the comedy track here. Let's find out what you guys think of this topic. We're back to you, Casey Corbin, headlining Levity this weekend. Your go-to place to get news, Casey. Even if you're not a big news junkie, if you think you need to find out something that's going on in the world, or you want to check in on what's going on in the world, where's your go-to place to get news?
Usually Twitter. See what's what's
currently. Twitter? Oh, Jesus.
Well, no. You go to Twitter to see what's trending and what's happening, and then you click on, and then you read the news articles.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were just like your half dozen Twitter followers and following what they think is going on.
No, I don't really go to like news websites or anything like that. And sometimes I watch the news, but usually like YouTube. I usually keep track of the COVID stuff on YouTube.
Yep.
And but for Twitter, it's just. I don't know if someone dies unless it's on Twitter. And mostly everybody that dies is on Twitter, or if
get rid of Twitter,
something big's happen. It's like, Twitter.
Are you a big sports guy? I know sports people sports people love Twitter, man. Are you a big sports guy?
Oh yeah, totally. I love sports. Yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah, I know it's Twitter's huge with sports people for some reason. Manolis Zontanos, I know you're a bit of a political junkie.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say, I don't know if you watch it. My absolute favorite show, and I watch it every week that it's on, is Last Week Tonight with what's his name?
Oliver.
John Oliver. And I just think that he's just so brilliant and so funny. What's your go-to place to get news there, Manolis?
I really do enjoy him too. He's amazes me how like the amount of work you can tell that's put into that one episode is so, and it's really well done. He's great. He's on top notch. I don't go to Twitter. Sometimes I go to Tinder, and then I use that to remind. I like to remind myself how no one loves me, and because I never match with anybody, and then I like Seth. Is it Seth Meyers does like the Closer Look, but it's just really 10 minutes of making fun of Trump. But
sure.
But I do enjoy it. I like the Daily Show, but I think there's something with Jon Stewart and Jon Stewart and Colbert when he had his old show. When those two had those shows, like that was perfect.
That was perfect.
Those were the days.
Patrick Coppolino, I know you're not a huge news guy. You prefer to live in your own little bubble, like the world's a perfect place. But if you had to get news, where would you go?
I'm part of the problem with like young people on the internet. I get my news from Facebook. Just like I scroll through Facebook, something comes up, I see a headline, I don't open it or read it before I share it with an opinion about it. So yeah, I don't. That's honestly the most news I get is either from that or just someone telling, like Manolis will tell me, "Did you hear?" That's it.
I'll show Patrick something. I'm like, see this article? He's like, no. It's like, oh, because I don't want to read it. I just want him to tell me what it is.
Yeah.
What's this about? I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay.
For those watching on Facebook right now, and I know our radio on it, it's on Friday afternoon, can't see this, but there appears to be some sort of a dog in the right-hand corner of Patrick's screen there. What is that exactly?
It's a Scotty Westie. His name's Tuck.
Oh, look at him sleeping there. That's fantastic. You've put him to sleep. Look at that.
Yeah, he listens and he falls asleep.
That is awesome. Thanks, guys. You know what? The news thing's important because I thought it was interesting when you take a look at society as a whole. The number of people who watch actual old school newscasts has gone so far down, and people are finding different sources, different ways to find their news. So that was a good discussion of you guys find out all your important information. Remember once on Friday at 4:20, I discussed the fact that I usually put one topic in that's very specifically Manolis driven. And this one is the Manolis topic du jour. So we'll go with you, Manolis, first. Do you subscribe to any OnlyFans?
No.
So for those who don't know what that is, right, there's a lot of primarily females, I guess maybe some males have them, I don't know. Primarily women who show nude pictures of themselves and stuff like that, but you got to pay a monthly subscription fee to get to their OnlyFans. Do you subscribe to any OnlyFans, Manolis?
I told you the other week I have gotten a porn star to follow me, so I was really happy about that. But
that's not the same thing.
I know, but I used to have prescription to Brazzers.
A prescription. His doctor prescribed it to him.
What do you call it? Like,
a subscription.
No, it's a prescription.
Your doctor's like, yeah, we're gonna have to put you on Brazzers for 3 months.
Take this to the pharmacist and have them look at you and discuss.
Yeah, you want me to know all the words? Okay. You knew what I meant.
A prescription.
You had to embarrass me in front of everybody.
Want me to know all these words?
This is the best part, though. It wasn't even my subscription to Brazzers. My friend Jordan
Shearer.
He goes, "Hey man, I got a subscription to Brazzers. Do you want the code?" I'm like,
"Do you want to pile on?"
Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." So I'm using this subscription to Brazzers for like a month or two, and then all of a sudden it just stops. It doesn't work anymore. So I figured he stopped paying for it. And so next time I see him, I go, "Hey man, you didn't pay our bill." That's what I said to him. You didn't pay our bill.
Yeah, they were sharing like they were sharing custody of a child, just back and forth. And wasn't there a thing like you both couldn't be on it at the same time? So then you would know when the other one was on because you tried to get on and you couldn't.
Yeah, I think the worst part is like if you were like there, you could look at the history.
Oh yeah, you could see what that
No!
account watched.
Yeah, so we both know what we like.
You get to that recommendations for you, and you're like, I'm not into
Yeah.
any of this.
Jordan saw yours and he's like, I gotta close this account.
Yeah, I think he was worried, but that's the closest thing.
Casey Corbin, I'm going to ask you the question. Do you subscribe to any OnlyFans?
No, I don't. Never been there. No. No.
Starting to sound like a yes.
I know people that have that have the site,
Right.
and get people go see them. But I don't know. But I've never went on there to see.
And they're making a lot of money, right?
No. Well, yeah. Actually, I've just read this in the news, thanks to Twitter. They just capped how much you can make because there's this Instagram influencer or model, and she's went on there, and she said, "Everybody sign up, and I'll send you a nude selfie." And everybody signed up to her thing for $20. So she made like $20,000 in an hour or something like that. And then she never sent out any of the pics.
Oh.
So now everybody's complaining and stuff like this. And now OnlyFans had to go back and reconstruct the rules. So you can't do that anymore. So, that was just in the news like 2 days ago.
Where's her integrity?
Well, yeah, exactly. People pay you $20, to see the goods. You supply the goods.
Yeah, you got it. I asked the question, and it wasn't even Manolis. Whether you did or not, but I primarily asked the question because I see a lot of ads. Like you go through Instagram, there's lots of ads for these. Check out my OnlyFans, link in the bio, blah blah blah. And I'm just like going, wow, who? Like I don't know anybody who subscribes to an OnlyFans.
I know a girl that makes $10,000 a month.
Wow. I'm sure they do.
Wow.
I'm sure there are guys who do it, but it's just
Wow.
one of those questions. I thought I might catch somebody off guard and embarrass them on Friday at 4:20. Patrick Coppolino, you're up.
No, but I have one if you want to subscribe. It's
Patrick's OnlyFans.
OnlyFans
Yeah.
/ Levity Comedy Club. Casey, I don't think we told you, but all the headliners pose nude after the shows.
I've got some sexy pics. It's all right.
Yeah. Manolis keeps sending them in, but we're not. He's a regular, so.
Oh, you'll know Casey right away because his is the dick pic with the dick mask. So you see,
Yeah.
you'll know his.
And the mask with the Van Halen logo on it. So you'll know for sure.
You want a little Michael Anthony hot sauce with that? Wow. You're listening to Friday at 4:20. Our special guest, Casey Corbin, Patrick Coppolino, Manolis Zontanos, and myself, Mike Neighbors. We got a couple minutes left here, guys, but only a couple. So there's something I wanted to touch base on quickly. My understanding is, Patrick, you've been, of course, heavily into poker. And now Manolis is going to put up the money for a high stakes game once a week. Tell me how this works.
Yeah, once a month. It's
Once a month.
So yeah, because we were talking about it at the club, and he was just asking all these questions about how much you potentially could make, and he's like, I was explaining to him that the higher stakes you play, the obviously the bigger the prize pools, and he's like, well, why don't you just play those like once a month? And then he's like, I'll even pay it. And then so then we struck up this deal where once a month he's gonna stake me in some high stakes tournaments. And we're going to live stream it on Facebook. And you can watch me lose Manolis' money every month.
Oh, you know what? I love this idea. What's roughly the cost? What's roughly the kind of bread that Manolis is in for?
It depends. It's like anywhere between $55 and $110 buy-ins.
And this is why Manolis now has a job?
I have a job for many reasons, but yeah, I just fell into a couple of things that I have to keep. I can't get into it, but like the thing is, I have some money, and I'm like $100 a month. I'm willing to throw $100 away a month if it could turn into 10,000.
Yeah. So
Possible.
So this is the thing. I remember that whole argument about poker being gambling and stuff. I don't think it is. So my part, I'm going to be skillfully playing poker, and Manolis is gambling. on me.
So now, do you get a share if you win the money from Manolis, or is it all right back to Manolis and you're doing this?
I get 100%. No, once he gets his buy-in back, anything after that, I think we're just splitting 50-50.
Yeah, it's fair.
Casey, you want in on this act?
No, I'm all right.
Yeah, he can already tell where this is going. Manolis is going to be down $1,200 by the end of the year. That's how this is going to turn out.
There's so many worse things that happened in my life. If this is the worst now, I'm doing great.
Where will we be able to watch one of these live stream games when they happen, Patrick?
It'll be on Facebook, so if you follow either myself or Manolis, we might make it our own page just for that. But yeah, you'll find it on our pages, and I'll share it on Levity too.
Let's talk to Casey Corbin a little bit about this weekend. When you're planning now with the new post-COVID comedy routines and stuff, Casey, and I'm unfortunately not familiar with the kind of comedy you do, if it's storytelling or if it's pun humor. I doubt it's pun humor.
Actually, no, it is. There is pun humor. There is.
Love it.
Yeah.
Is the current circumstances, the current state of our society, does that roll into your act, or you just are kind of let's get away from it and escape it?
No, it's there.
Okay.
I do have maybe about 5 minutes on it right now, and not really that much. Like I do, I will talk about dick masks, and I will talk about when I thought I had COVID. That was a scary experience, and like it's just I thought I had COVID, and that is scary because I woke up vomiting one morning, and I went to the doctor to get checked out, and I couldn't just stop getting sick, and I thought I was ill, and doctor said, "What happened?" I was like, "Last night I went out with my friend. I had like 12 Coronas with limes, and I can't stop puking." And he said, "You're wasting my time. That's not how you puke." And I said, "You're wasting my time. That's not how you get COVID." And I said, "So you're telling me I got Lyme's disease?" So, and then he just sent me on my way.
That was it.
That's a true story, by the way.
Yeah, that is true. I did think that I had, and I felt like an idiot. So
we encourage everyone who's watching right now and everyone listening on Friday. It's a Friday at 4:20 on Funny 820 to please head out to Levity Comedy Club tonight. If it's Friday, tonight, or Saturday night at Levity Comedy Club. Casey Corbin, the special guest. How do we follow you on the social media there, Casey?
I'm the internet's #1 Casey Corbin. So Casey Corbin on most platforms. On Instagram, comedian Casey Corbin. So
excellent. Well, we look forward to a great weekend here in the Hammer, and we appreciate you coming on and doing this Friday at 4:20 show with us. We were a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. It's been a good time.
Manoli, what do you got to say for yourself? This is the closing comments portion of the show.
Quickly, what time are the shows on Friday and Saturday?
8 o'clock both nights.
A buddy of mine's got a barber shop. It's Split Ave. It's a barber shop. They are master barbers and beard specialists on 836 Upper James Unit 104. So go check them out.
Casey could go. Get Casey maybe a free sit in with they can fix up the beard a little.
I could probably.
Who knows?
I could make something happen. I don't know if he wants to look that. Like I think he likes the Grizzly Adam look.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I love the fact that Manolis had to take a minute when he was saying master barbers. Not easy to get out, is it, Manoli?
I'm constantly putting stuff in. It's just getting it out is the hard part.
Patrick Coppolino, we all know Levity Comedy Club is back, baby.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what's going on.
Yeah, we got great shows coming up every weekend. Amateur night's back up every Wednesday. 2-for-1 wing night. Last night was awesome. It was full house. It was a lot of fun. This weekend, Casey Corbin, and then go to levitycomedyclub.com to find out who's coming up. We're also doing Simpsons trivia first Monday of the month. Yeah, so that's about it. And then also
LevityComedyClub.com, because you also have some other shows you've already booked, and we'd love people to buy tickets in advance because you have to buy them in a group of 4, right?
And we released groups of 2 now as well.
Okay.
So yeah, but we do recommend you buy online because it's limited seating, so you don't want to miss out.
Very limited seating.
Yeah.
So there is still Availability for Casey Corbin this weekend, but it's very small. So please buy those tickets right away. LevityComedyClub.com.
If anyone wants to join my OnlyFans, just talk to Manolis' doctor. He'll write you a prescription for it.
Well, it's the same thing. Prescription, subscription. It's the same idea. How wasn't that off?
Maybe Friday at 420 needs an OnlyFans. And we can all perform.
I got a site called Lonely Fans, and it's for people that want to get on OnlyFans or need to get on OnlyFans.
Casey, special guest practicing the safest sex there is, all by himself. Manolis Zontanos, Patrick Capolino. Thanks, boys. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate you doing this, and thank you most of all to you who tuned in on Facebook, to you tuning in to Funny 820 and listening to this right now. Thank you for supporting Friday at 420. And until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days' time, have an awesome weekend! Woo!